Hello everyone, this is our Asvab prep, the arithmetic reasoning, working with decimals, and this is part 3. Today we're going to do numbers 14 through 20 from the Mometric study guide. Alright, number 14 says, a woman weighing 250 pounds goes on a diet. During the first week, she loses 3% of her body weight, which is good. During the second week, she loses 2%. That's a total of 5%. And at the end of the second week, how many pounds has she lost? Okay. Okay, so she lost 3 pounds in her first week. So let's see what that looks like. 250. I'm sorry, not 3 pounds, but 3% of her body weight. And remember to change from percent to a decimal. We drop that percent sign. And the understood decimal at the end of whole numbers, we move that in 2 places to the left. And where there's not a number, we put a 0. So we're going to take 250 and multiply by 0.03. Then we multiply like normal. We're going to take that 3 and multiply it by the 2, the 5, and the 0. So 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 5 is 15. 2 times 3 is 6. Plus the 1 we carried makes 7. Now the 0 we would technically multiply by everything, but 0 times anything is just 0, so we're going to leave it as it is. So we count how many places are after all the decimals, and that's 1, 2, and we come to bring it in 2 places. So she lost 7.5 pounds. Good progress. So we're going to take that 250 and subtract 7.5 pounds. So that's 7.5. And remember, when we're adding and subtracting with decimals, we line the decimals up. And in whole numbers, the understood decimal is at the end. So we drop a 0 there. And then we're doing 10 minus 5, which is 5. And then we change that from 0 to 10. Borrowing from here makes that a 4. And then we bring that to a 9. Bring that decimal straight down. That's 2, 4, and 2. Now, if you're not sure if you did your borrowing correctly, because most people haven't had to do that type of borrowing since they were in school, and that might have been a while for some people. So we'll just take that 242.5 and we'll add 7.5 back to it and see if we get to 250. So 5 and 5 is 10. 7 plus 2 plus 1 is 10. 4 and 1 is 5. And 2 and nothing is 2. So we got back to that. So that checks. Okay. So we're at 242. And then the second week it says she loses 2% of that body weight that she currently is. So that's 242.5. And remember, 2% is going to be 0.02. Now you may be asking, why didn't you line up the decimals? Because we only do that when we're adding and subtracting. All right, so 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 2 is 4. Plus the 1 we added is 5. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 2 is 4. Now, let's count the places after the decimals again. That's 1, 2, and now on this one we have 1. That's a total of 3. So let's go in 1, 2, 3. So she lost 4.85 pounds. So let's go to the 242.5 and subtract out 4.85. Now I could put that 0 at the end of that, but it's not gonna do anything. So anyway, we'll put it there, and then we'll fill this in with 2 zeros. And as you'll see, that 0 was nothing. So we'll change that to a 10. We're borrowing, so we'll make that 15. We're borrowing it from here, which takes that down from 12 to 11, and we'll make that a 3. So 10 minus 5 is 5. 15 minus 8 is 7. And let's use okay. So it says at the end of the second week, how many pounds has she lost? Okay, so this will be her weight, but how many pounds did she actually lose? Well, she lost the 7.5 and then she lost that. So 7.5 and then 4.85. So she lost, we're adding 5, 13, and 12. She lost 12.35, which is answer choice C. Okay. We're good with 14. That one took a little more time than I wanted it to take. Number 15. A woman is traveling to a destination 583 kilometers away. 583 kms. If she drives 78 kilometers each day, or every hour, how many hours will it take for her to reach her destination? Well, that means we're dividing this up into segments. And so we're dividing this up into segments of 78 every hour. So we're just dividing. Now let's look at our answer choices. Either we're going to be using a 2, a 3, a 5, or 7. So which one of those, when we multiply, will give us something in the 500 range? If we do, say, 75 times 2, that's like having 75 cents twice, right? That gives us $1.50. Well, that's way off. So how about 5? Say if we had 80 times 5. Well, 80, just estimating. So 80, like if we estimated this to be 80, and we multiplied it by the 5, that's an answer choice C. 80 times 5 will give us 400. So that's kind of close, but still far away. So our answer choice is going to be D. But let's check it out and see. So we'll put a 7 here. 7 times 8 is 56. 7 times 7 is 49. 54. And you see where we're going? We don't have to spend time doing the rest of this problem. We can use those seconds to apply to another one. But here we go. So that'd be 7, 3, and that makes 37 left over. What we would do is put a decimal point here. Let me erase this. Decimal point in the 0, bring that down, right? This decimal will go straight up. And then, well, we clearly see the next number is 4. And so then we do 8 times 4, which is 32. And then 7 times 4 is 28, plus the 3 is 31. And then we subtract. And of course we can bring another 0 up there, bring it down, and then we're going into 580. Well, we already saw that here 583 went 7 times, so to 580 is also going to be 7, which also confirms that our answer choice is D. And we're ready to move on. Now, some of you going to say, oh, I have so much trouble with doing that estimating and kind of trying to figure out what number to use. let your answer choices be your guide. That's the best way to go in this type of situation. Otherwise, it's kind of like a guess and check. So you don't have to do it. Test this number, test that number, test this number. You have 4 numbers at most that you're going to have to test because there's 4 answer choices. By the way, if you all are new to watching my channel, please click on the like. Please click on the subscribe. If you want to receive the notifications of my lives that I post, which has been every day for the past few days. And we do like one sheet of questions, which I would typically do with my students. We'll either go through 1 or 2 sheets. My students that I meet with in person and my students that I meet with online. And it's enough for them to digest and then go back to their study guides and find similar arithmetic reasoning problems, math knowledge problems, because those are the sections that I work on with students in the Asvab practice. And then there's also the bell. Click on the bell notification so that you'll get all notifications and not just sometime notifications. All right, let's look at the next one. Is it cold where you are? It was 80 degrees here in Texas yesterday. Now we have 28 degrees right now. Okay, so if 1 gallon of paint can paint 3 rooms, 1 gallon for 3 rooms. It says how many rooms can be painted with 28 gallons of paint. So now we're doing 28 gallons. And we're trying to see how many rooms. That's our unknown. So if we're doing 28 times the original one, guess what we're going to do with the 3? It's going to be 28 times it. So what's 3 times 28? Well, I see that 3 times 4 is 24. And if I use my test taking strategy so I don't have to spend so much time completing this problem, I see that answer choice D has a 4 at the end. So I know that that's the answer, and I'm going to keep moving and not spend time completing this problem. Because guess what? Nobody's checking your work to see if you did all the steps to get to the answer. If you can do a shortcut to get to your answer, take it. 2 times 3 is 6. Plus 2 is 8. That's 84. Alright. On to number 17. Five workers earn $135 a day. What is the total amount earned by the 5 workers? Well, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They made 135, 135, 135, 135, and you better not be writing this out like this during that test. You better have practiced doing this enough so that you're not writing this stuff out, spending time, wasting time. So we could typically just count all this up, add it up. That's a first grade skill, addition. Third grade skill would be multiplication. So we're doing 135 times those 5 people. And hopefully we can use an adult level skill, test taking strategy, and see that 5 times 5 is 25. And look at our answer choices and see if there's anything we can rule out. Well, we can rule out B because it doesn't have a 5 in the ones place. And we can rule out D because it doesn't have a 5 in the ones place. Then we can think about doing the next step, which is 3 times 5, which is 15, plus 2 more is 17. And then we can clearly see between answer choices A and C that A has a 7 in the tens position. So our answer choice is going to be A. But if you don't believe in that magic, let's keep working it out and test it out and see. So that was 17. 5 times 1 is 5. Plus that 1 we carried was 6. Boom. Now do you believe in magic? Let's look at number 18. Alright. A girl scored a 99 on her math test. She was a bomb. On her second test, her score dropped by 15. And on the third test, she scores 5 points higher than she did on the second one. So what was the girl's score on the third test? Well, let's see. So the first test she had 99, right? It says on her second test it dropped. Dropped is a subtraction. Dropped by 15. So that's 84, which is still bomb. That's a B. And on the third test, she scores 5 points higher than she did on that second one. So 5 points higher than this. Higher means add. 9, 89. And it says, what was the girl's score on the third test? Well, we can clearly see that that's answer choice C. All right, we got 2 more to go. You have any questions on the ones we've already covered? If you do, write them down in that in the chat section, or if you're not here on the live, you can do it in the chat section, and I'll answer your questions. So let's see, 18. Oh, we already did 18. 19. Let me erase that. 19. Okay. A man goes to the mall with $50. He wasn't trying to spend no money. And he spends $15. I knew it. In one store. $7.12 in the second. He must have been to the candy store. How much does he have left? Well, if he spent, that's subtraction, $15.64. And then he spent $7.12. Okay. So that's how much he spent. He spent. So it says, how much does he have left? So let me see. Our answer choices are in the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, and the 50s. Answer choice D is suspect. It says $57.12. Well, he only went in there with $50. So unless he stole some money from somebody or found some money on the ground, answer choice D cannot be the answer. Rule it out. So then you think about the $15 he spent and the $7 he spent, which, if we estimate, is about $23. Because 15 and 5 will make 20. 22 and then a change. So it's about $23. So $23 is almost $25, which means he would have spent half of the money that he has. So how much could he possibly have left? Probably answer choice A, but let's find out. So what we're getting ready to do is we're going to ready to add these two numbers up to see how much he spent in total. 6, 7, and 12, and that. So he spent $22.76, which we estimate 23. And we're going to subtract that from the $50. 22.76. All right. Well, 76 is almost like 75 cents, which would have left 25 cents. But since it's 76, then it's 24 cents. So, like we estimated, answer choice A. 10 minus 6 is 4. Change that to a 9. And that's 2. Change that to a 9. That's 7. Change that to a 4. And that's 2. $27.24. Don't spend too much time on these problems, because the next problem could say something like, what's 1 plus 1? And if you spend all your time doing the ones above it, you wouldn't even get to the easy problem. Number 20. 600 students share a school that has 20 classrooms. Sound like a division problem to me. How many students will each classroom contain if there are an equal amount of students in each class? Well, 600 divided by those 20. Of course, our number is 3, because 3 times 2 is 6, and we're not even going to spend no time. D is the answer. I'm not even finna finish it up. We done. Like, comment, subscribe.